My husband's coworker offered me a ride, but something felt wrong. Emily Thompson had never thought much about her husband's coworkers. She knew a few by name, heard enough stories over dinner to form vague mental images, but she had her own work, her own life, and their worlds rarely overlapped. That changed one breezy Thursday afternoon in late September. Emily's old silver sedan coughed, wheezed, and gave up on her halfway between the grocery store and home. She had just finished a midweek shopping run, planning to get home before the school bus dropped off her daughter, Lily. But now she was standing on the side of Oak Ridge Avenue, looking at a plume of steam escaping from under her hood. She sighed, pulling her phone from her purse. The battery was down to 15%. She could call for roadside assistance, but that could take an hour, maybe longer. She dialed her husband, Mark, instead. "Hey," she said when he answered. "The car died on Oak Ridge. Steam, everything." Mark's voice was apologetic. "Oh no. I can't get away right now, we're in the middle of a meeting. But, hold on. I think Brian is nearby. He just left for a client call." Emily frowned. "Brian? Brian Peters, you've met him once, remember? Tall guy, dark hair, wore a grey blazer at the holiday party." The memory was fuzzy at best. But she trusted Mark. "He could swing by and pick you up," Mark continued. "It'll only take 10 minutes. I'll get the car towed later." Emily hesitated, glancing at the sagging grocery bags in her back seat. She didn't love the idea of accepting a ride from someone she barely knew, but her battery wouldn't last much longer. "Okay," she agreed. "But tell him to drop me right at home. I need to be there before Lily gets back." 5 minutes later, a blue pickup truck pulled alongside the curb. The passenger window rolled down, and a man leaned across the seat. "Emily?" "Hey, I'm Brian," he said warmly. "Mark told me you were stranded. Hop in, we'll get you home." He seemed friendly enough, his smile easy. Emily took a breath, locked her car, and climbed in. The truck smelled faintly of coffee and motor oil. Brian kept up casual conversation as they pulled away, asking about her day and mentioning the big project he and Mark were working on. At first, Emily relaxed. But then she noticed small things. The first was that he didn't take the most direct route to her house. She knew Oak Ridge well, there was a straight path that would have had them home in 6 minutes. Instead, Brian turned onto Maple Grove, then Cedar Lane, winding through side streets. "Roadwork ahead," he explained when she asked. But she didn't see any signs of it. The second thing was the envelope. It sat in the center console, slightly open, with papers poking out. She wasn't trying to snoop, but as the truck jostled over a pothole, the top sheet shifted and she saw her husband's name printed in bold near the top. Brian noticed her glance and quickly flipped the envelope shut. "Work stuff," he said lightly. "Lots of boring paperwork." Emily's stomach tightened. She tried to keep the conversation flowing, but her mind was working overtime. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe she was being paranoid. But she'd learned over the years, as a mother, as a friend, as a woman, that gut feelings were worth listening to. When they passed a gas station, Emily said, "Would you mind stopping here? I need to grab something for dinner, and I should call Lily to let her know I'll be late." Brian looked surprised but nodded. He pulled in, parking near the edge of the lot. Emily climbed out, her tote bag over her shoulder, and waved. "Thanks for the lift, Brian. I think I'll just wait here, my friend can pick me up." Brian hesitated for a fraction of a second before smiling again. "Sure thing. Take care, Emily." She watched as he pulled away, her phone already in her hand. Mark answered on the first ring. "Hey, you home already?" "No," she said carefully. "I'm at the Shell station on Maple. Can you come get me?" There was a pause. "Wait. I thought Brian was dropping you off." Emily told him exactly what had happened, from the detour to the envelope. She didn't accuse, didn't make wild leaps, she just laid out the facts. Mark was quiet for a long moment. "I'm on my way," he finally said. When he arrived, his expression was tight. They didn't talk much until they were home, the groceries unpacked, and Lily was playing upstairs. He had no reason to take that route, Mark admitted. "And that envelope, it's not even supposed to leave the office. I'll handle it." Emily nodded, relief mingling with unease. She didn't know what Brian's intentions had been, maybe it really was nothing. But she was glad she had listened to her instincts. That night, after Lily went to bed, Emily sat on the porch with a cup of tea, listening to the crickets. The air was cooler now, the hint of autumn creeping in. She knew one thing for certain: trust was important, but so was caution. And sometimes, the safest path was the one you chose for yourself.